Beautiful sunbursts, always a joy to make these. The original Sunburst Granny Square was designed by Priscilla Hewitt back in the 90s. She also designed the Circle of Friends Square and the Fisherman's Ring squares, so you might have come across her before. Sadly, Priscilla passed away a few years ago now, but her patterns live on, and the Sunburst is probably her most well-known one. So in this video, I'm going to show you how I make a sunburst square. We'll start with the three colours for the circle part, and then I'll show you how to turn it into a square. It's mostly the same as the original pattern, just with a couple of little tweaks to it, because I'm not very good at leaving anything alone. I like to give a little fade tweak to things. For this tutorial, you will need 4 contrasting colour yarns, a hook and a pair of scissors. I'm using DK weight yarn and a 4mm hook, but you can use whichever yarn and hook you're comfortable with. Before I start, it's just a reminder that I use UK crochet terms throughout my videos. So first of all, we're going to start with round 1 of our sunburst. So take your first colour that you'd like to use, make a slip knot and pop it onto your hook. And we're going to make 4 chains. Now this will count as our first treble stitch, and we're going to work another 15 trebles into the centre. Now the way I like to do this, rather than making a magic ring or forming a ring with 4 chains, I like to crochet all of my stitches into the first chain that I made, so this one here. And I'm going to make 15 trebles into that first chain, and that first chain becomes the centre of your circle. I just find it a lot easier. I'm not a lover of magic rings. I had a bad experience once and I had some come undone, so I've never touched them since. So just work your way round, adding your trebles into the centre until you have 16 altogether, so that's including the first few chains that you made. I shall get to a point where I shall have to stop and count how many I've done, because I've not been counting as I've been making them. I'm just going to stop and count mine now. Two more to make. And then we need to slip stitch to the top of the chains that you made right at the beginning to join the round. And now that colour's all done, so fasten off. And that's your centre all finished. The next round is formed with these little puff stitches, which give a nice texture to the sunburst square. So take your second colour, make a slip knot again, and put it onto your hook. Take your central circle and join your yarn. If you locate where you fastened off, join your yarn into the first stitch that you see that's next to your tail. So join with a slip knot. Chain 1. Now what I like to do with sunburst is to crochet over my ends as I go along. So if you take you should have 2 different colour ends there that you can take and sort of hold them as you work your way around and crochet over them as you go along, and then that's just 2 less tails that you have to sew in at the end. So what we're going to do is form a puff stitch. So yarn over your hook, don't forget those tails, go back into the stitch where you joined, pull up a loop, and don't go any further. So you're not going to complete the stitch at this point. Now we need to do that twice more, so wrap your yarn over your hook, hook back into that same stitch, pull up a loop, and then once more pull up a loop, and then you're going to yarn over and pull through all the loops on your hook. Now complete the puff by chaining one. We're going to repeat this process in every single stitch around, so I'll talk you through it once again. So yarn over, hook into the next stitch, keep crocheting over those tails if you can, pull a loop through, repeat twice more, yarn over, hook in, pull a loop through, yarn over and pull through all those loops on your hook, chain one to close the puff stitch. Same process again, yarn over into the next stitch along, pull a loop up, yarn over, back into that stitch, pull a loop up, yarn over for the third time, hook in, pull a loop up, yarn over, pull through all the loops on your hook and chain one to close the puff stitch. So you're going to work those puff stitches into every stitch around, and once you get to the end you should have 16 puff stitches. So I'm going to do that now, and I'll join you once we get towards the end of the round. Now I've just made my last puff stitch, so my 16th one, and I need to join the round. So I'm going to put my hook in between the first and the second puff stitches and slip stitch through there to join. And you can now fasten off. At this point I like to just turn my Sunburst over, find those ends that I was crocheting over, just give them a little tug, and then you can snip those off. And that's your second round done. So we'll now move on to the third round. So we're now going to go and move on to the third round, and the third round consists of 16 clusters, treble clusters all the way around. So take your next colour yarn, make a slip knot and put it onto your hook, and then we're going to join the yarn this time in between the puff stitches on the previous round. So again, we're going to try and work over our ends as we go, just to save ourselves a job. So put your hook in between the clusters right next to where you fastened off the last round and slip stitch to join. Then just work one chain, yarn over, put your hook into that same space. Now once again, remember to grab your tails if you can, and we're going to crochet over those as we go. Now pull a loop through, yarn over and pull through 2 loops on the hook, so that leaves 2 loops still on your hook. Now we're going to repeat that 3 more times. So yarn over, hook in the same space, pull a loop through, yarn over, pull it through 2 loops on the hook. Now you've got 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, through the gap, pull it, your yarn through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops on the hook. Now you've got 4 loops left on your hook. Then once more yarn over, put your hook in, pull the yarn through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops on the hook. So you've now got 5 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through all 5, and that creates your treble cluster. Do 2 chains and then move along to the next space. Yarn over, put your hook in, pull the yarn through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops on the hook, repeat 3 more times. So yarn over, hook in, pull the yarn through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, hook into the gap, pull the yarn through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, put your hook in, pull the yarn through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops on the hook. Now you should have 5 loops left on the hook. Yarn over and pull through all 5 and make 2 chains. We'll repeat the process again in the next gap. So yarn over, hook into the next gap, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull the yarn through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull the yarn through, yarn over, pull through another 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull the yarn through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops on the hook. You've got your 5 loops on your hook now. Yarn over and pull through all 5 and then chain 2. So repeat this all the way around in each gap until you've got 16 clusters. So I'm going to do that now, and I'll meet you once we get towards the end of the round. So I've just made my 16th puff stitch. I'm just going to make my 2 chains, and I can now join the round. So we're going to join the round by slip stitching into the gap between the first and the second cluster stitch that we made. Okay, now fasten off, turn it over and then pull any tails through and cut those ends off. I think my other end's showing on the front there. I'm just going to cut that through. There we go, and that's your 3 rounds done to make your circle. Just a little heads up that if you were planning on using the continuous join as you go method, you would want to be making all of your sunburst circles first, because then you'll join them all in one go as part of the continuous method. But for the purposes of this tutorial, I'm just going to show you how to square off one circle so that you can see how it's formed. So we're now going to turn our circle into a square. So make a slip knot and pop it onto your hook with your next colour yarn. And then we're going to find any space between the clusters of the previous row. Doesn't have to be where the tails are this time. We're not going to crochet over them because it's a little bit too gappy to do that. And then you're going to make a double crochet. So pull the yarn through, yarn over and complete the double crochet. And now make 3 chains. Now this represents your first double treble. We need to make 2 more double trebles. So yarn over twice, put your hook in, pull a loop through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2 loops on your hook, and then yarn over and pull through the remaining 2 loops on your hook, and that's another double treble done. So repeat that again because we need 1 more. So wrap round twice, hook in, pull a loop through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through the remainder 2 loops on the hook. And that's your 3 double trebles done there. Now we're going to chain 1 for the corner, and we're going to make 3 more double trebles into that very same space. So yarn over twice, hook in, yarn over, pull it through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2 loops on the hook. Now we need to make 2 more. So yarn over twice, hook in, yarn, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2 loops on the hook, and 1 more double treble. And that is our corner formed for our square. So we're going to move along to the next gap now, and we're going to work 3 trebles into that gap. So put your hook in, pull the yarn through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2 loops on the hook, and make 2 more trebles. So move along to your next gap, and we're going to work 3 half trebles here. So yarn over, put your hook in, pull your yarn through, yarn over, pull through all the loops on your hook, repeat again twice, yarn over, put your hook in, yarn over, pull through all loops, and that's your 3 half trebles. Now we're going to go back to trebles. So in the next space, 3 trebles, now in the next space we're going to form a corner again, and the corner is 3 double trebles, 1 chain, 3 double trebles. So that's the first 3 double trebles done, 1 chain, then 3 more double trebles, we've now completed our second corner, so I'll just lay that down so you can see. So we've now got a straighter edge along there, so we're gradually turning our circle into a square. So we're going to work along the second side now. So into the next space we're back to trebles, so 3 trebles, and then into the next space 3 half trebles, and in the next space we're back to trebles, and then we're back to a corner. So double trebles, 3 double trebles into there, one chain and 3 double trebles. That's your corner formed. So I'll just lay that down again so you can see. So we've now got some nice straight edges. So we've got our corners, which consist of 3 double trebles, 1 chain, 3 double trebles. Then our sides, which consist of 3 trebles, then 3 half trebles, then 3 trebles, and then onto the corner, 3 double trebles, 1 chain, 3 double trebles. So continue working around the remaining 2 sides, and then once we get towards the end I'll join you again and show you how to join the round. So I'm just making my last treble, and then we just need to join our round now. So join with a slip stitch to the top of the chain that you did right at the very beginning. and then you can fasten off. There we go, and there's your Sunburst granny square. Thank you very much for watching my Sunburst granny square tutorial. You can find more videos on my channel. Don't forget to subscribe. Keep up to date with what I'm making by following Little Dove Crochet on Facebook and Instagram. Until next time, bye!